What's up, everybody? Welcome to the machine room. We had some technical difficulties, but thank you for being patient and waiting in the chat room and everybody getting talking. I do thank you for that. Naz has some computer issues, but he's here. He's on his phone, not his computer, so
Yep.
he's here regardless, because that's how we do shit.
I tried my best to make it rain, sleet, or snow. I will be in the machine room because it's nice and comfy and warm in the
It
machine
is.
room.
And I vacuumed in the machine room, as you can
Exactly.
see.
We keep the
Yeah,
machine room clean. We don't like
I
dirty.
do.
We don't like dirty
Mm-mm.
machine room.
Get all those little machine scraps and little wood splinters and yeah, all that
Yes.
shit.
And it's freaking crazy. This
But
so excited all day for this, right? I'm like, all right, it's gonna be a long day. I'm gonna do this. Let's go. Then they're like, oh, the the plane's coming late. I'm like, crap. All right, still got this. Whatever. Pushes out. I'm like, all right, cool. I just gotta race home. So to listen, okay, if you need to get somewhere real fast,
hmm
I highly recommend you play something that'll get you in the mood, right?
death metal.
And okay, for you it'll be death metal, which is
Yes.
fine. Yes, I could see that too. For me, it's the Back to the Future theme. So I just played that while I'm on the expressway. I'm like,
Yes.
and I'm like, I even start saying like, all right, let's see if you bastards can do 80. And I start going faster, and I'm cutting like it felt like a movie. It felt like a straight up
Wow.
movie. You know, like in the movies, you see the traffic, and you're like, how is there so much gap in between the cars? That's unrealistic. There's always major traffic, you know.
Yep.
I take it back. It happens because it happened to me. There was just space in between the cars, and I was just like zigzagging all the way there. Which I want to say, don't be speeding because it's very bad. So
I
you
speed.
know, but you're a grown up, so you have your own
I'm an
freaking
adult.
yeah, exactly. You can do what you want. But yeah. So I make it. I make it 30 minutes before the show starts. I tell Rachel, I'm like, I'm here. I'm ready. Let's do this.
That's not what you
And
said.
somewhere along the line. Don't call me out. So get the computer, and I'm trying to start up the program, the Skype, and it's all not starting. And I'm like, all right, then let's restart this bad boy. And that's when my computer decides, oh no, forget it. How about we just update all day?
It's only at 7%. Last time it
It's,
was at 4. That was
it
like
was
forever
at
ago.
7. I don't remember it being this
Fucking
freaking.
7.
So thank God to the technology and the ability
Headsets.
yeah to do this through the phone. And I'm here.
We
That's the
here.
story. That's the story. I made it to machine rooms, regardless.
Late as fuck, but we here.
So I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is all my fault. You know, what can I say? You know what? It's not even my fault. It's the freaking job's fault. I blame the job.
On your computer?
No, my job for keep there is for so late. If I was home by like 7 o'clock, this would have been resolved.
Didn't you go in like stupid early this morning too?
I went in stupid early this morning. I went in stupid early yesterday. So I spent 2 days back to back there all day.
That's too much airport.
I have to pay rent in the machine room somehow,
We do.
So that's what's happening. But thank you to the people here on this Wednesday night, our new night. We're trying this out, and thank Rachel for being so patient and dealing with my bullshit.
I deal with your bullshit every day. I'm used to it. For years now. Everybody's like, who's
Oh,
this bitch? I've been like, I've been dealing with him for years. Y'all don't even know.
they don't. They don't.
You're like, I
But
like that, but I don't like that color. I'm like, God damn it. I don't like that font.
That,
I'm like, fuck.
that's an actual representation of me.
That's how you sound in my mind. Mm.
That's exactly how I sound over here. Yes, like an old 1920s freaking mobster. Yeah, fine, it's good, but
Exactly.
yeah. Why was that a thing? Who actually talked like that?
I think
Yeah.
that's like a false representation of early 1900s, but whatever.
That's what we're all
People
mobsters,
people in
Italians.
later westerns don't sound like that. They just sound like shitty Americans. There's a weird time gap in between there where people started talking stupid. See?
A weird time. Yeah,
But
I think people are still talking stupid.
yeah, regardless. That's everywhere. Someone's gonna
Yeah.
talk stupid.
Oh, there you go. Now I get to see what the hell this look like.
Do you need a tripod?
My arm is a tripod right now.
That's what she said.
Ha ha! Whew. So yeah, what's been good? What do we have any? I know last time you had topics like crazy. I did
I
too, but they're on this
do.
phone, so I can't see.
I brought I have five. So it's really depending if we want to go serious first or save serious for last.
Ooh, ooh. Let's save it for last. You know,
Okay, I
let's save it
figured as
for last.
much.
Yeah.
So I finally saw Endgame after
Oh.
forever because kind of been working part time, so I have a lot more free time to catch up on things. And I also watched Brightburn,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
which I so want to talk about. So, fair warning, this is going to be a spoilers episode. So, spoiler warning right now. This
This
is
is
it.
now. This is the spoiler
Spoiler
room.
warning. So, if you fucking get mad at me, I said spoiler warning. So, if you haven't seen Endgame or Brightburn or even Godzilla, because we might talk about that too,
Mm-hmm.
stop
Mm-hmm. I'm good for that.
and watch this later. Did you
So the
watch
spoiler
Godzilla
room.
though?
I I watched Godzilla.
Okay, good. So we can talk about that. Spoiler room, yes.
Yes.
I heard your echo.
Yeah, I was making sure I came out. So there you
That's
go.
cool. So I was. It was interesting the
Mhm.
way they ended Endgame with
Yeah.
Steve Rogers getting being old. I thought
Mhm.
that was a nice touch. It's kind of different approach. I like that he handed over his shield to Falcon.
Mhm.
Um, I already knew about Iron Man dying. That got spoiled for me, of course, through
Like
the
crazy.
interwebs, and
Mhm.
also the Spider-Man movie trailer ruined it. But it was sad, and the way he went out was like a boss. Like he totally saved the day and was a badass and got to wear an Iron Man Infinity Gauntlet, which was badass.
I mean, that's how you go
Um,
out. That's how I
yeah,
want to go out
that's how we all want to go out.
with an
Uh,
Infinity Gauntlet.
the whole old man thing, I just keep thinking about it. It's not, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. It's just different. It's not what I would
People,
have done, but I get
people
it.
had a people had a problem with it because they were like, Captain America would not just sit on the sidelines and go have his own life, but for
Yeah.
throughout the whole MCU series, he always deep down wanted that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Tony would tell him like, you need to chill and get a life and this and that. So technically both of them flipped. So
Yeah.
Tony finally made that sacrifice, went beyond what he would have done, and Tony, I mean, and what the hell's his name? Steve
Steve
Rogers
Rogers.
went ahead and had a life. I mean, he was basically done. They did everything, and his best friend, one of his best friends, just sacrificed his life for everybody, and he
Yeah, but I
deserved it.
mean, he did, and it was a good thing for him. He went back to his girl and all that and had this life with her and met up at that point where he fucking went back in time and all that. It was cool. It was just like Steve Rogers in the comic, I don't think would have done that. He would have been Captain America until he died,
Well,
which he did.
I think there was a point where they made like a fake town, and he lived there and grew old or something. I don't know, something along the lines that I read around time that the what was it called, the Empire or something, the Secret Empire or some shit. The one where he was Hydra.
Oh,
Because
okay. No, I didn't
they
know
give you
about
the
that.
they give you the backstory that there was this town that was created because of the Tesseract, and the Tesseract was made into some kind of girl, so she was able to manipulate reality.
That's right. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so thus the whole Secret Empire happened and blah blah blah. So I don't think it's so far off. And people get confused with the well, from what I understood from the conversation that the Ancient One had with the Hulk, if you take out an Infinity Stone, you affect the timeline
Right.
right there.
It
If you put
affects,
them all back, it's back to normal.
right.
So he went and put them all back, and thus was in the fixed timeline that affects his own
Hmm.
future, but everything plays out the way it does, so he has no reason to do anything because it could just alter the future. And he lived in secret in the back with Peggy, and then throughout the movies, Peggy never talks about who the husband is. You never see the picture. And
Hmm.
there's this thing that even shows that there's some old man carrying the casket along with Steve Rogers at her funeral, saying that that's Steve Rogers himself, living in the
Wow.
sidelines. But it was always confusing because the writers will say like, okay, this is how it goes, and I believe the writers because they're the ones who wrote it. Damn it! But then the Russos are like, no, this is how it goes. And I'm like, okay, you guys need to get on the same page of what the fuck is going on in the backgrounds. If not, then you should have put it on the screen exactly what
Right.
the hell went on in the background. But that's what I'm getting is that he went back, fixed it all up, and just lived a life side by side to what was going on. And he didn't intervene because there's no reason to intervene. You needed to let everything play out the way it did.
Yeah, but I mean, my whole thing with what he did was, they had all of these things happen, where they had to team up to be the Avengers, these huge tasks and, problems that arose that they had to band together to, solve these problems. And, Thor being the worst one, of course, but who is he to know that something wouldn't happen after that? So it was kind of like, well, this is what I assume nothing's going to happen after that. I might as well go get old because we're never going to band together again because one of us died. It seems like, I don't know, like he threw in the towel too early and something else could have happened where they would have needed him and now he was in a different timeline.
I mean, he made it back. He's just older. He passed it along, so he trusted in someone else to do it.
Yeah, but you know, Falcon doesn't have the same abilities as him. He doesn't have the super soldier gene and all that shit.
He
So
does not.
he's not going to be the same use. I mean, the Falcon's a great character and he can fly and he's a badass, but he's not a super soldier. He's
I
not,
think
he's not
I
like a
think it
metahuman.
falls. No, it doesn't. It should have been Bucky, but in the comic,
Yeah, that
technically
was,
both of
yeah.
them. Technically
Both of
both
them
of them,
did
but
become Captain Planet at one point, but it should have
yep,
been Bucky.
they both become Captain Planet at one point.
Captain Planet, Captain America. I love Captain Planet. But
He's our
I
hero.
I thought it was gonna be Bucky. I was like, when they did the whole Winter Soldier and then they showed that Bucky didn't die, I was like, they're gonna make him Captain America. This is gonna be badass, just like in the comic. and
Or
then he didn't do it. I was like, this, it's just little things like that. It was one or the other. It was going to be 50-50, but still, it was like, it should have been Bucky,
could still be one day. Don't know. We'll see the show and see how that plays out.
I guess.
Mm. But I guess it's all about passing the torch right now. That's why Iron Man did it to Spider Man, which probably won't even be there anymore. And you know, everybody
As we
else, we
talked
got
about last episode.
yeah, yeah. Man, I wish I was part of that. I wish I was part of that.
There's still stuff to talk about. There's the petition that Spider-Man should be part of the MCU, and it's like thousands of people have already filled it out, and they're really standing up for Spider-Man, which is really cool. Like there was even a thing in the news where they were talking about it, and there's people with like, petition signs and stuff, to do right by him. It's really shitty what Sony did, as a power play. They only let Marvel use that character just so they could, get out of, almost filing for bankruptcy. And now they're making shit tons of money because of these movies, and now they're just gonna fucking pull that character away.
They believe that they won't need the MCU to continue the character, and perhaps they don't. They did well with Venom, but it helps a lot. And Disney also, they both have a fault because Disney also wanted
Yeah.
more in the take. They can come to a common ground, but I don't know. Like in the end, it hurts us because we wanted to
Yeah.
see more of this universe come together, and we don't want nothing to be thrown out of it. You know.
I wanted to see stuff that happened in the comics like Spider-Man and Daredevil or Spider-Man and the Punisher, that
Or
kind of.
Spider Man and Deadpool.
Yes, especially that. And
Yeah.
we're just not gonna get any of that shit. And they even talked to Ryan, what's Ned's Deadpool,
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah. He wanted to do a Deadpool and Spider-Man, and now he's like, I guess we're not gonna do it now. So it's really shitty that you're right. The main one group of whomever that's affected by this is the fans, because we're not gonna get to see any of that kind of shit that was in the comics.
No, it was amazing that it even happened, and we got 5 films with Spider Man inside the MCU. But we want more, especially how Far From Home ended. Uh, I don't know. It's maybe there'll be hope and something happens. I mean, people got what's his name back into the MCU to direct the Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn, you
James Gunn,
know.
yeah,
So that happened, and he's off freaking directing Suicide Squad too. So
that made me
anything's
so happy.
possible.
Yeah,
And I'm excited about the Suicide Squad too because he's behind it as well. Like, what little touch is he
me
gonna give
too.
to it?
And despite what people say, I love Suicide Squad, especially the director's
Oh,
cut. It's so great. It's so fun. Especially for people like me that usually root for the villains anyway. It's such a fucking great movie. And there's been so many things that I've seen on YouTube where they say, "Well, it's not a movie. It's more of an episode of a series." And that's why people don't like it because it's not like an official movie. It spends a
hmm.
lot of it, telling everybody its backstory and stuff like that, and then, it just kind of like jumps into a third act. It's like, well, yeah, but the whole point of all of those movies was to be like an episode and part of a big series. That was the whole plan that Zack Snyder had that we're not going to get to see either. Because all of
Did
his
you
movies were
see?
just episodes of something bigger.
Did you see? Speaking of Zack Snyder, did you see that the creator of Deadpool, Rob Liefeld, I think, or something like that,
Yeah.
something like that. I'm sorry if I'm torturing his name, but he is strongly, like especially on Twitter, strongly petitioning for the Zack Snyder cut.
We have
This
to see that
man,
cut.
this man who created Deadpool, and I'm sure he worked on DC as well and stuff like that. But he is out there like, I want this Zack Snyder cut, and he said that he is not gonna stop until this Zack Snyder cut gets released.
It's one of those things like I have to see before I die. Like, and the other was Bad Boys 3, and now we're actually going to get that.
Yeah,
So
you hype?
I feel hopeful because now we have Bad Boys 3. I'm like, okay, well now we have to get the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. And
I
just to shut up people that shit on that movie so hard. They need to fix the mustache thing. They need to put all
yes.
the story points in there that were supposed to be in there,
hmm
and I'll be happy.
I'm
And
I'm
Matt,
I'm
let's
I'm
let's cut out all the shit of Batman trying to be funny because it doesn't work.
I'm surprised that you Bad Boys fan. I want to know more about this.
I loved all those movies. I mean,
Yeah,
there's two movies, but they're so great. Like, they're so fun to watch, and they cause so much destruction and trying to do the right thing. They're like great comedies, but they're also great action movies.
they are. Two was long as hell, but it
Yeah,
was.
two is super long. Like as soon as you think it's over, they're like, "No, now we're going to Cuba." You're like, "God damn."
I saw the trailer this morning, and I'm hyped. I was hyped from the moment they said like Bad Boys 3 being made. I'm like, cool, let's do this. You know what I was mostly hype about was the fact that Joe Patrignoni was in it. I
Yes, I
probably
saw
murdered
him
his
in the
name.
preview. I was like, "Thank God!" Like you have to have him in that
Where
with
has he
hair.
been? Where has he been?
I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't seen him in shit in years.
Exactly. This guy doesn't do anything. Like he betrayed Neo and then did Daredevil, and that's all I know. And Bad
Fell
Boys.
out. Yeah,
God,
he probably does a lot of those people do TV now because TV is where you make money because it's a regular
Netflix,
job. Yeah, Netflix.
Netflix, and Hulu and Amazon. Amazon is really bringing in the contents lately.
You know what's
So
funny? I know that I work for Amazon is that their film department is a department that you can transfer to. So like they're asking me, I got promoted and they're asking me like, yeah, what do you want to do? You know, do you want to work up to be a supervisor or a manager or something like that? I was like, no, I want to go over and make movies and TV shows. They're like, oh yeah, you can do that too.
oh snap! Look at you. Oh, we like kaiju.
Yes,
We've been live for like the last what?
20
I don't know.
minutes.
20 minutes, dog. Welcome to the machine room. It's good to have you. We're so lonely.
Yes.
So
I
lonely.
can't see how many people's in there, so I can just see the chat and all that stuff.
I can see the chat too. It wasn't working at first. You know, the machine room, sometimes the key doesn't fit and you can't open the door, but eventually, if we hear you, we let you in, you know? You just got,
You know
yes.
those sliding key card things like the hotels, and you have to go get your shit
Yes.
rekeyed and then swipe it.
Yeah. Why don't we have those? Why can't that be like a house thing
You
and not
can
just a
have those
hotel
in your
thing?
house.
Really?
Yeah, you can get those. You can get ones that you can use your phone. They work on like NFC, and you just touch your phone to the door and it unlocks.
What? Okay,
There's fucking thumb scanners. There's ones that have the buttons so you can be all
that's
like,
what I'm talking
doo,
about.
doo, doo, doo,
Yes. I want to put my hand on it and be like, shwow, and let me in. And it's got to
yes.
open like Star Trek doors, like that.
Yes.
Fuck, and there's got to be a decontamination room before you enter into my actual house.
You have to take your shoes and socks off and wash your feet because you stink.
Yes. I don't want
Put some
nobody
deodorant
bringing
on.
germs. Yes.
Febreze your pants.
It's just a room that shoots you with Febreze.
Especially if you smoke. You just like they just freaking give you a whole Febreze bath. It just showers you in Febreze.
Yeah, man. Rule number one: do not smoke in the machine room, and do not bring in the smoke either.
You know how much flammable shit we have in the machine room?
So much
Burn the fuck
flammable.
up.
I don't need that. I don't get why people smoke. I just don't get it. I don't.
I can say as a former smoker, it feels good when you're doing it, but then the addictive part is like when you're smoking for no reason and you're just like, why am I doing this? And you just can't stop. And then you're like, what they call nicking is when you're like fidgeting and fucking like freaking out if you don't have one. That's the worst part. But um, it's weird because like your sense of smell goes away, so they don't smell how bad they smell.
Mhm.
And you can try to tell them, they're like, no, I don't. You stink. I'm like, no, dude, you stink. And now it's been almost 10 years since I've had a cigarette. And I
Good,
can go past people like that. I'm like, dude, you stink.
good.
You need
So
Febreze baths. What's up,
big shout out,
Pantonite?
big shout out, and congratulations to Rachel for being 10 years smoking free. And that's an achievement, let me tell you. Okay, my mom was always smoking, my father too, since I was growing up. I never liked it. Um, and one day I brought a book when I worked at my other job. I brought a book, and it was a book about how he stopped smoking in the process or whatever, stuff like that. I gave it to her, and she read it, and the book actually had her stop smoking. And ever since then, she just been smoke free. So now she even goes like, "Oof, I don't like the smell of it and stuff. The just anything." Her sister smokes like crazy, so she just hates it. She despises it and stuff like that. So there's things, there's the will, there's the way, whatever it takes. But I highly recommend people to stop smoking. 100%. It's just awful and it's stupid. You know what I hate? I don't like seeing a woman smoke. I think it's very unsexy. It's
I
not cool.
agree. Also, it seems very retro and not in a good way. It's one of those things like white, after Labor Day. It's like, why are you doing that? It's it's very faux pas. Like to see people like in 2019 smoking cigarettes. I'm like, you still do that? Like people are still doing that? Like, I don't know. It just seems
It,
very old fashioned.
vaping is the new thing. Everybody's vaping.
I don't get that either. It just
And
it stinks too because my mom vapes and it
and
just makes everything stink.
and they're not even vaping like nicotine. They're vaping freaking weed now. That's what's
Oh, well
going
that's different. That's a
on.
whole
Yeah.
other topic. I got weed. Um,
Weed.
weed. Um, vaping weed is different because it's like usually like a concentrate or the vaping thing like a G pen that actually bakes the weed and so you're actually getting vapor, like real
Mhm.
vapor. It's not just like pussy juice or whatever they have in vape. I don't know what it is. Um, so yeah, you're actually smoking like real weed. It's not just like a bunch of shit and then they put nicotine in it. Like no, it's good and it's a lot better than, burning something.
Can we go back to what pussy juice vaping is?
Trying to quote South Park when they were calling them like pussy pens and pussy sticks and shit like that. It's like I was just trying to think of that quote and it just came out pussy juice.
Get your pussy juice vape only here in the machine room. That's the only place that sells them, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
limited, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta really, really first come first serve. Pussy juice
It,
vapes.
that just reminded me of Bill Hicks when he used to tell a dirty joke. He'd go, I am available for children's parties, by the way.
Mommy, what's he talking about?
Pussy
Nothing, honey.
juice.
Eat your cake. Eat your cake. How did we get to pussy juice? What the hell were we talking about?
Vaping and smoking and then weed.
Weed.
We could talk about weed all day, but we shouldn't. We should talk about Brightburn. We were talking
Oh,
about
right. So
the
we were talking
Gunn
about,
brothers and
yeah. So Endgame over there. James Gunn. Oh, that's a good transition. Yeah, that's good.
yeah,
That's
I
that's a good
I
transition. I
meant to
mean, it's
jump
way
on that
late.
before and then I don't know. I don't know what went wrong with
That's
smoking,
that's the
but
problem
shit
with us.
happens.
Like we literally, like the machine room, ladies and gentlemen, was literally built not just from that fucking one night of playing World War Z, but the fact that when we talk, we just go on a
Oh God,
tangent.
hours.
It just goes on. I could be like, all right, look, I gotta go to bed now, blah blah blah. It's like, all right, good night. And then next you know, it's like another fucking hour
Like,
of us just
yeah,
discussing.
2 hours later. Um, that when we first started like talking and hanging out, the first night was on Xbox Live on Red Dead Redemption, and I don't even remember playing the game. I just remember sitting there and talking, and we were waiting for more people that never came, and we just kept talking and talking and talking, and then it was like, well, shit, I don't talk to anybody like this because there's never any like back and forth like this with most people. Most people just kind of wait for their turn to speak, or they have loaded questions. They'll ask a question because they want to answer it, kind of thing. But we actually riff off of each other, and that's what established the show because we had that, and it was like we could fill 4 hours easily just bullshitting. And so it was really easy, kind of common sense thing to start a podcast like this.
Yes, and then we thought it would be great to have it a live show because we want the people to be a part of the conversation too and riff off of us. So everybody who's in the chat room, please be a part of this conversation, man. You guys are free to jump in whenever you want and discuss whatever you want. And now we're gonna go ahead and discuss Brightburn because we were talking about Endgame and we were talking about how there was the Snyder cut, James Gunn, and now let's go to
Brightburn.
Bright.
Yes. I love it. I really love it because as a horror movie fan and as a comic book fan, it's both. It really has the aspects of, of course the the backstory of Superman, but it's like Superman gone bad, but it's not just like for a dumb reason. Like I didn't think so, but it has that and then like all the gory aspects of a really good horror movie. Like the gore in that movie was so good. It gave me like phantom pain from just looking at it. And I was like, that's horror movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now,
I've never seen anything like it.
to go back, you should watch the new Hellboy because they do some crazy horror shit. To go back to the how he turned. You say that he turned and it wasn't just like out of nowhere. I watched the movie twice. Now, the first time I watched it, and I was really hyped to see this because, I love Superman. And I thought the concept, okay, this is like the Superman story, but gone a totally different direction. The kid is gone evil. So I was expecting, like, all right, this kid is, being bullied like crazy, or kids are treating him like crap, and his parents are trying to love him, but like maybe the mother is loving him and the father is treating him like crap. Like something drove him to the dark side, kind of shit. And then I see the movie, and of course, if you guys weren't here earlier, we said so. There's gonna be spoiler room.
Spoiler
So
alert.
I'm very sorry. I usually don't like to do this, but to have this conversation, we got to go ahead and dig deep. The kid who was called, what was he called? Brandon Bayer, right?
Brandon.
Brenton. No,
No, it's Brandon.
Brandon Breyer, right?
Brayer, yeah.
So the kid Brandon, he
Whose
hits a
last
certain
name, the actor, the kid that played Brandon, his last name is Dunn. So that's one up for me.
hey, you're gonna go crazy and kill people now.
Never know.
So the kid hits the age of, what is it, 10, I believe.
I think he was 12.
Well, kid hits
Because he
the
was a
age of
toddler,
12.
then it went 12 years to or 10 years later. So he's 12.
Okay, so
About to be 13.
he hits 12, and the ship they have hidden in the barn suddenly calls out to him, and he's basically awakened. So the
Well, I
first,
mean, a little bit.
yeah, the
And
first time
it's
around,
it's
I
a slow burn. It's not just like, oh, now you're
a
bad. There's a slow burn there.
slow
It
burn to
kind
the
of
Brightburn.
activates him and he doesn't really know what's going on. So it
Yeah,
wasn't like overnight he's a shitty person. It was more like overnight he started acknowledging his powers and abilities and that he was different, to be
but
fair.
he went very drastic. You know,
He did,
I don't
but
know.
if you were in that situation and you woke up and you realized you could fly and burn shit with your eyeballs and you had superhuman strength, you'd be fucking, rocking the
Killing
clock
people.
with that shit. Fucking
I
up
don't know.
lawnmowers.
I don't know if I'll be killing people, but it. I mean, the first time around, it just felt off and a little lazy that he just all of a sudden blam and I'm powerful and moody and shit like that. But I get it. Kid went through puberty, and when you go through puberty, you get like that.
Right.
But he grew up in a loving family, like super loving family. So
Hmm.
everything was straight Superman, Clark Kent kind of shit. You know, he had a loving family, and then all of a sudden to just flip it and start killing motherfuckers because he didn't have his way. I don't know. Like, and then the second time watching it, and then watching it with some coworkers, it was like it's just the instinct or the natural instinct, whatever of his design to be sent to that planet, just kicked in. Kind of like you go to Dragon Ball, which takes the story of Superman as well. Goku's sent to Earth, and he doesn't know anything, but his natural Saiyan instinct with the tail. Once the moon comes out, gorilla, destroy everything in his path. You know, so I guess in this sense, the kid was the same way. It's like that natural thing in him. You know, when he starts saying like, the world, take the world," which I love that scene because his eyes start getting straight into your face and shit like
Yes.
that. So I get it. I get it. So I can accept that. I just have that little, I just had this whole vision of how it would have flipped out, and I wanted it to be like really character driven, you know, and it sort of was. Um,
Yeah.
but it's
But it
the
was,
ending that really hyped me up, and I want to see more because of it.
yes. It ended exactly how, as the movie was progressing, I was like, I could see where this could go if they don't do some stupid horror movie shit and like kill him off. Because they did the whole thing, they found out that the ship hurts him.
Hmm.
And that's the only thing that hurts him because it's from his home world, kind of like kryptonite. And I was like, they're gonna find a way to like crush him or something with that. And nope, he
Mm-mm.
flipped. He fucked everything up. There's all these like sightings of him on the internet and conspiracy theorists like, oh, he's gonna end the world and he's fucking all this stuff. It was like that's perfect. That was exactly how I imagined it in my brain. Um, but it whole thing of nature versus nurture, which is a great topic because you could nurture a kid so much, but genetically, if their parents were a piece of shit, they could still grow up to be a piece of shit. Um, Granted, the ship had a lot to do with it because the ship kind of woke him up, activated him. It was like, this is what you're here to do. You're supposed to take over the planet, you know. So that was there too. So you could see both sides of it. He was a very nice, well-mannered kid, and then basically he started acknowledging his powers and abilities and what he could, and it activated not only what he was supposed to do but his ego, and his
Hmm.
ego was the one that was like, I'm better than you, you're of a different species, I'm special. And he even says that, he says, I'm special. And for him to acknowledge that means that his IQ and his ego were really fueling him too. It wasn't just what the ship was doing.
So basically, he was just becoming a little punk ass
He
kid that
was a
needed a good
dick.
whooping, but he couldn't get a whooping, so that was the problem. So instead, he fucked up Rita Repulsa and Jason's mom from Power Rangers. I mean,
He sure
Jason's father
did.
from Power Rangers.
He sure fucking did. And he shot him in the back of the head, and he just like felt it, and then turned around like, "Motherfucker, did you just shoot me?" And then his dad's like, oh shit," trying to load the gun again. I love that scene. I was like, that's exactly how something like that would play out. Like, did you just fucking shoot me?
It's like the scene from Blade when they shot him in the hospital. It's like, motherfucker, you out of your mind?
Somebody needs to take those things and put them together.
Just mix them up. But did you see on that on at the ending? Sorry, did you see in the ending where they're giving all those clips the whole other Justice League
Yes.
of horror
So there
villains?
was there was like six other characters, and I was trying to. They're really fast, and I was trying to keep up with them. But the two that stuck out, he was talking about a half fish, half man, and
Mm-hmm,
then there was another one that looked like an alien. So I
mm-hmm.
was like, so there's supposed to be like a bad Aquaman and then like a Martian Manhunter kind of thing. And then I couldn't see what the other two were. I wanted to
The
go back
the
and watch
one
it, but there was so much going on.
the ones that he mentioned was a half man, half fish, which clearly is Aquaman, and then the witch with the rope, which is Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And then he breaks up the six, and yes, I saw the alien, and then they looked someone who was red, so I'm guessing that had to be the Flash. And there was a question mark, so it
There was
literally
like a
was like
black one.
five and a question mark.
Yeah, and I think that was supposed to be the Batman because what I've heard is the evil Batman is supposed to be the next one.
Ooh,
But then
that's well,
again,
the evil Batman's might as well just like fucking Thomas Wayne, yo, just throw him in
yes.
there, bam, there you
Oh
go,
my God.
Thomas Wayne, kill my kid,
Um,
you all die.
It really also depends on how well that movie did, because that's always going to fuel sequels.
Hmm.
If the movie didn't do well, they're going to be like, yeah, well, let's just abandon the whole thing. But if it does well, then they'll go, okay, well, let's expand on this. You have obviously this whole universe that you want to set up. Let's give it a try. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure the theatrical run is over. So we'd really have to see how well it did and what their profits were.
I believe it did well. It it wasn't a really it wasn't a really expensive movie, and it made
Yeah.
more than it did. So that already is success. That's kind of the smart thing of making a movie. Like sometimes making it cheap is always a safe bet because it could always you could guarantee it makes more than what it was, what it costs to make it, and that's where the profit comes in. So
And plus, like an introduction to this new universe that they want to set up, it's very smart to play it out that way because if you start off cheap and you can make lots of profits, you can use those profits to go towards the next film.
mm, I'm surprised it was made, period, because I would think there would still be like some kind of, copyright kind of shit to it, but I guess not
Yeah.
because everything has changed. But the story, like, I don't know, like, oh, this is too close to Superman, but then,
Well, look at the old the lawsuit against Shazam. And
mhm,
the lawsuit was that Shazam was basically had stolen everything that Superman had. And they said, well, yes, but it's a different story.
mhm,
He may have still a lot of the same abilities as Superman, but the story was different. And that's what saved Shazam from that lawsuit.
mhm,
And also kind of branched him off into being Mr. Marvel, or from being Mr. Marvel into Shazam. So they
mhm,
were the lawsuit was Superman suing, the rights because Mr. or Captain Marvel had a lot of the same abilities as him, but they lost because it's a different story. So the story in Brightburn is different than Superman. A lot of it is the same, yeah, but a lot of it's different.
So what you're telling me is that we can just go ahead and make our own version of comic book heroes right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Make our own Spider-Man, our own Batman, our own X-Men.
You can, and that's the great thing about comic books. There were so many characters and stuff that had some of the same ability. I mean, how many characters can fly? How many characters are fast? How many characters are super intelligent? There's lots, but they have different stories. So that's what saves them. They're different characters in general. They have different traits. They do different things. And that was always my favorite being the Max because he was so fucking different.
Wasn't the Max just like in some dream world thing? Because I was confused. I tried to read the Max with Batman, and I was just like confused on the first couple pages.
He he's more powerful in the subconscious.
Hmm.
So that's where he gets a lot of his abilities. And in the real life, he still has the suit. He's still stuck in the mask. But people just see him as like a homeless piece of shit. And he's like, I'm not. I can do all these things and I fight evil. And he does. And people never see it because they're so apathetic.
People, right?
People fuck everything up.
Fucking people destroying this world. But that's another topic. Oh,
We're all
but
gonna die, so just have
yeah,
fun while you're here.
one, yeah, just
But
that's why we're in
but
the
still try
machine
to
room.
recycle and
Yes, definitely, always look for the symbol and follow it. Recycle. Yes. But Brightburn, I definitely enjoyed it. I expected it to go a different way. Two viewings though, I don't hate the movie. I like it, and I definitely would love to see more. I want to see more of this world, this universe expanded. I want to see what other things they come up with, and it's just a fun movie. It's a fun take on stuff. Now, I'm a kind of guy that always like want the good guys to win, but it was a nice little touch there. That kid, the thing that was also when seeing the second time is that you see that the kid is smart as shit because he says in the classroom he tells the whole story about the whole wasp and all that stuff, and he knows his shit. So it makes sense that this kid is able to pull all this stuff off and manipulate people and get away with it. You know,
yeah, he was totally
like
manipulative. And when he started realizing how to lie and that he could get away with it, he did it more and more. So he
mhm,
learned really, really fast. Almost like that was also a superpower.
mhm. Because the same
Because
with
that,
Superman. He's smart as shit
yeah,
too.
yeah, Superman's smart as shit. I don't think he's like Bruce Wayne smart or Brainiac smart, but I mean he's smart
Hmm. He'll fuck you up.
in a chess game.
Superman, you gotta beat Lex Luthor in chess. I got this.
He used to have a guy friend that was tried to use his strength to kind of get what he wanted, and I'm like, I'm not scared of you. I'm Lex Luthor and you're Superman. I'll fuck you up.
Give us a Snyder cut.
Snyder
Sorry,
cut.
goes back to that. It all goes back to that.
Did
But
you did watch Godzilla though?
yes, I was just about to say, all right. So finally, I freaking watched Godzilla, which, by the way,
Yes.
I do wish I went to see it in theaters because I'm pretty sure all that is
Right.
like fantastic in the fucking big screen.
I was
Uh,
crying. I was so happy.
I also felt like I should have watched the other ones beforehand, just to recap and everything like that. But it was a good movie. I was though really pissed off at who fucking fought with it. It was the fucking once again, this is a spoiler room, so the fucking mother just like you dumb crazy bitch.
The fucking mom was the villain. I was like, no fucking way. Like
Crazy.
that was like better than an M Night Shyamalan twist.
Right? It was her all along, just wanting to bring these things out to help the world. Some sick fucking, and then the daughter was like going along with it. It was like, come on, girl, you should have known better from the get go. But regardless from that, it was really dope to see all these fucking kaiju's just go at it, go crazy.
I
I
like how
wish
you
there
said
was,
kaiju.
yes. Shout out to 16-bit kaiju. I was. thinking in my head, it's like, man, it would be dope that all of a sudden a fucking Jaeger comes out of nowhere from Pacific Rim and just gets in a
Yes.
battle. Yes. So it was real good. It was a long movie too, which is good because movies should be long these days to really get the story across. Um, the
If they're
music,
allowed to. If they're allowed to be long, then they get to tell the full story. So
yeah,
many movies they get shit on are because they tell them to cut them down for time, and then they come out with the director's cut, and everybody comes out and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is so much better than the original."
Justice League.
Suicide Squad. Sorry, I have
But
a frog in my throat.
where was it going?
Godzilla,
That's
kaiju's,
oh, where was it going?
Ghidorah.
Was what I really liked was they were not like beating around the bush. You had the first Godzilla, cool. Then you had Kong Skull Island, and it kind of hinted at the little crossover. But this one was just like, nah, nigga, Godzilla, Kong, Skull Island, Godzilla, Skull Island. Like they were like really like throwing in your face, like, look, this is where we're going. We ain't beating around the bush this time. Get ready. And I'm like, yes. Though I heard it was supposed to come out like next year, which I highly doubt it.
Next year.
Is it that soon? Because I don't
Yep.
hear anything.
I've
I
already
think,
seen like shots from it. It looks really good. And King Kong is really old.
oh,
He has like a gray
yes,
beard and stuff.
he should be because I forgot that other one took place a long time ago.
Yeah, in like the 70s.
Yeah, so that's good that we don't have to wait forever. And I want to
No.
see this crossover. You know what? We have to thank the MCU because they created this whole trend of people just creating universes in their movies, which never existed before. Really, never really exists. I think if you think about it, like Quentin Tarantino might be maybe a little hint or Stephen King, a little hint because they'll have like little
The
nods
Stephen
to this
King
shit
universe is pretty broad.
because the whole
But
Dark Tower thingy, I believe
yeah,
that's
but they always recast everybody, which pisses me off.
yeah, it's
That's
true.
what really pushes them apart is they're like Randall Flagg is always somebody different. Opposed to like the MCU where like Loki is always the same fucking guy.
Yeah, they only recasted what like one person? No, two people. It's
The
Rhodey
Hulk.
and the Hulk.
Yep.
But the Hulk was some other like issue, kind of like Spider Man, where Universal had the rights to make the movie, but yet the MCU are able to use the Hulk in other people's movies, but they can't make a
Some
Hulk
shit,
movie.
yeah.
It's like the fuck.
Yeah, it's really stupid. He can only do like buddy films.
So make Spider Man only do buddy films. I'll be happy with
It's
that.
true.
As long as he's fucking in there. Just not like they just disregard him. Like I saw a meme where they said where it's a scene from the Endgame and it's Hulk hasn't been around, so Bruce Banner just shows up and he's all telling them what's going on, and then Captain America tells him like, "Oh, it's this guy and an Ant Man." He's like, "An Ant Man?" He's like, "Yeah, and a Spider Man." Spider Man? He's like, "Whoa, no, you mean Night Monkey? Who's Spider Man?" And that's a reference to Far From Home because they can't use Spider Man now for some reason. It's just,
Wow.
God
Hashtag Night Monkey.
damn it. It's just like we said earlier, we lose, but it's cool because next year we're gonna get this Godzilla versus Kong Island. Sadly enough, I have to say this. I didn't watch the Godzilla freaking Japanese movies.
What?
Yeah, I knew of them. I didn't
Oh
watch
my god.
because to me, even though this is funny because I'm the guy who fucking loves Power Rangers, to me, monsters in people in monster suits, it was just like this look very low budget and stupid.
You have to
That was
watch the third renditions of Godzilla, the millennial ones,
yeah.
because they're more CGI and all that stuff, and they're very serious,
If I
opposed to the
watch
first two renditions, which are silly.
I'm sure if I watch the most modern ones, they'll be good. I also I watched the special no, not special features on there. I want to see the special features on there, but I watched some videos from YouTube, and they told like some of the stories that were back then, and I was like, what the fuck? Like there was something about time travel and aliens and
Yeah,
this and that. It was really out there. Or like Mothra was controlled by the twins, which that confused me for
twins.
a minute. And Godzilla confused me because Homegirl was at where Mothra was at, and I was like, huh, how'd she get there? And then next thing you know, she's over there. She's like that's the surprise scene. I'm like, why is she surprised seeing it? She
Twins, Basil.
and then now I remember the conversation from the video, and he was like, "Oh, you're like third generation and all twins," and she was showing the pictures. And like,
Yeah, all
okay, so
their like her mom and grandma, they were all twins. So I was like, that's a really nice touch to put the
mhm,
twins that were like the basically the keepers of Mothra.
mhm. So even for someone who doesn't know the whole mythology and everything of Godzilla, and I saw that video, and then I freaking respected and really understood the mythology and the freaking Easter eggs of Godzilla, so made me even cherish it even some more.
Hmm.
It's really well done. You could tell that it's done by people who love the source, and that's kind of
Fans.
that yes, that's kind of the stuff that you want to see done. Like Alita Battle Angel was done by people who love the source, who were fans, and the 2017 Power Ranger movie was done by people who love the source and was fans. Because
Hmm.
as a fan myself, I saw all the nods and all the little things and the Easter eggs they were doing, and you were like, yes. And it's sad to talk about that movie this day because there's no sequel to it, and there'll be like some reboot or whatever that I hope they just do as well as a service as that movie did because god damn it, that deserved
It
more.
deserved like at least a trilogy.
Yes. And
I was
MC,
so excited to get a movie with Tommy in it. That would have been great.
that's all we wanted. This movie was supposed to be just a setup for that fucking for that Green with Evil
Yes.
sequel that we wanted. And I remember talking to a friend years before this Power Ranger shit even started about like, you can make this into a movie. The first movie would be like the origin, the Day of the Dumpster kind of stuff. And then the second movie, straight all Green Ranger.
Yep.
The whole 5 episodes of Green with Evil is one whole movie right there worth.
When
And then the third movie could have just been
the White
bringing,
Ranger.
yeah, the White Ranger, bringing Lord Zed in. Like you could totally do that whole Green Ranger shit in the second movie. He's evil, then he turns good, and then he basically like can die in the battle because in Japan the Green Ranger dies.
Yeah, he dies.
Yeah. So you
It
could
was
have
his
it that
brother.
yeah, you could have it that he dies and he loses his power, but he's not really dead. Then the third movie comes and his who's the new White Ranger? But then there won't be a surprise to people because, for us, we know, like, oh, it's Tommy. But they could do something, recreate it, whatever. And then you bring in Lord Zed, who's an even real threat. And think about a reimagined Lord Zed would be like
That
fucking
would have been
crazy.
amazing.
Because the Lord Zed in just Power Ranger, the movie looked fantastic. They had his freaking brain moving. Like
Yes.
it was like, God damn it. Anyways, Kaiju over here, 16-bit Kaiju says, if the director loves the source, it'll always be worth watching. That is very true. So damn true.
That's why Spider-Man 3 sucks so bad.
Yeah, but that was the studio's fault.
Yeah, but also Sam Raimi didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, they just forced them into it.
He wanted to do Sandman.
And it probably would have been the shit if they didn't have to force them to fucking throw in Venom.
Fucking Sandman.
I mean, it was a good story with the Sandman.
Yeah, but me.
It would have been literally, it would have been Sandman and the. Is it Hobgoblin?
He was New Goblin. In
Yeah.
you, New Goblin. Come
Oh.
on, buddy. Let's go fight him, pal. Come on, friend. I'm not your friend, guy. I'm not your buddy, friend.
Two-Face Goblin because he had.
Oh, it was so stupid. It was so stupid.
but
It was so
it happened.
stupid.
but it happened.
I wake up every day pretending that it didn't,
It's okay,
except
man.
for right now.
There's a whole bunch of other Spider-Man movies that you can watch to cancel that one out.
Yes, I like the Andrew Garfield ones.
He was a really good Peter Parker.
It was damn good. I thought he was a little older, but it worked.
It worked.
They
It
just fucked it up with Electro. Electro
worked.
doing dubstep and all this silly shit. I was like, why? Like he had such good promise, and then when he started doing all this weird dubstep shit, I was like, I'm done.
Hey, dubstep was in. Dubstep was in.
I
He was
listened
playing the
to
Spider-Man game.
angry, hardcore, deathcore metal, and dubstep annoys the shit out of me.
So, would you have been happy if Electro just played angry, heavy, hardcore metal instead?
I would have been happy if they stayed with the source material. He shouldn't have
Costume
been
and all?
playing music in any. He should, yeah, fuck, some rendition of that. Just stop changing shit.
He just wanted a friend.
He did. I'd have been his friend. Been like, zap that soda machine over there. Hey, right.
Thank you.
Charge my phone for me. That's always dead.
Like Shazam, your
Yes,
phone
your
charge.
phone's charged.
Your phone charge. I
Exactly
watched
like
that.
that.
I watched that again after the convention, and
Oh,
man, that was
after the 9 million pictures you took of him.
okay. So I need to explain this. All right. Um. So we went to Wizard World Chicago, which this year was not all that, and it was really a downgrade from all the previous years. So they are fucking up, and I think it's because they
They're on their
cost
way
a lot.
out.
Yeah, the tickets always was expensive, but I think now mainly because to be a vendor there is very expensive. So
Oh, wow.
they're losing a lot of stuff. So you could tell that they couldn't do much this year, but they try to compensate with whatever they got. So, anyways, the best thing about that convention, in our opinion, was the Zachary Levi panel. He comes out, he's doing his talk and whatever. And the thing is that it's real cool because he was like, I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to be here talking with you guys all the time and I'm going to answer all questions. So the whole time was him letting people go up to the mic, answering questions or asking questions and him answering and stuff like that. And it felt like a stand up, you know? He's very animated, as you can tell from the pictures. So my girl Rocio has the camera on her, and I think she has like a great eye. And I just like go ahead, and she just starts taking pictures, dude. And she just going. So she takes all these pictures of Zachary Levi that I find are really nice. So I just put them up. She took a lot of pictures. I didn't feel right just putting up like one or two of them. So I was like, fuck it, I'm
You
gonna put up
pick
all
the
these pictures.
best ones. That's what a photographer does. They take a
Mm-hmm.
lot of pictures. You pick the two or three best ones, and that's the whole point of a photo shoot. You don't put all 90,000 pictures on the internet.
Fuck it.
Literally, if you click through them fast enough, it's a whole movie.
There you go. I did
It's
it.
like moving in real time.
If I could, I'll send all those pictures to Zachary Levi. Like, look here, use these
Yes. New headshot.
animated.
9 million new headshots.
Yeah, you animated bastard. He was so humble, so cool, man. It was nice. Him and I guess Jeff Goldblum is the in second place of the best thing about that whole convention weekend. John Travolta was like weird.
He was weird. He has sex with men in bathrooms. That's weird.
Okay, well then I guess there you go.
Not that having sex with men is weird. That's not what I'm saying is weird. Having sex in a public bathroom is weird, no matter who you're fucking.
I mean, whatever gets you off these days, you know.
That's gross. People
Whatever
poop
gets
in
you off.
there.
Hey,
There's
look,
poop in there.
it reached the hundreds.
Yay!
Jesus Christ.
What has it been? Over an hour?
I know, right? This is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, this is so stupid. My computer is like, I can't wait to build a new one. But don't tell her that.
Till who? Who are we talking about?
My computer, don't tell her that I'm.
I thought you were talking about your girlfriend. I was like, why?
No. She don't.
She doesn't want you to have nice shit.
She doesn't give a shit.
She bought her house. She's living her own life.
She has a house. How fantastic is that? I don't even have a
It's pretty
house.
rad. We should all get one big house and just have our own. Everybody has their own floor
Exactly. Get a
and
one house where we
elevators.
all use the freaking key card system
Key
and
cards,
pins
yes.
and hand and eye things and all that.
And everybody has the Wi-Fi password.
It's Shambhala.
Yes. So I did want to talk about something serious. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about the new Dave Chappelle.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
and I'm not gonna watch it. I'm protesting it. I'm protesting Dave Chappelle as a bigot. I've always seen him as, I mean, he's very racist as is, but also to be very homophobic and transphobic as he is. I'm definitely totally against and with the protest of other people. And it's not like a whole of people want to say, oh, it's some SJW bullshit or, it's some political correctness bullshit. Because I'm not. People that know me know I'm not PC at all. Like I
Hmm.
call everybody motherfucker. Um, what he's doing is very dangerous. And to not even try to expand or try to learn about his subject material, he's being very ignorant, which can be very dangerous because there's going to be some fucking crazy cracker that's going to go, oh, yeah, well, I don't like trans people either. I don't like gays either. So the fact that somebody is standing on a stage that gets paid millions of dollars doesn't like them, I guess it's okay for me to kill them. And that kind of shit happens every day. And for people to anybody to say anything about it or try to stand up against him, they get, you know, made fun of or they get to sound like what they're saying is not valid, and it is. When people start dropping dead, then you'll see that this is a very serious thing. And I really hope that he learns from this, but he's been telling the same jokes for fucking ever, and he's not trying to learn or change, so I doubt he ever will learn.
Hmm. So I need to be told what was it that he said.
He was
Since,
basically talking about um, the fact that trans people feel different, that their body is something like something like that. Like the fact that they don't feel the right in the body they were born in. So he was like, well, I could be an Asian man in a black person's body. I'm like, that's really not the same thing. We're talking about something genetically that happens
mhm,
opposed to you being a dickhead.
mhm. So I guess playing like devil's advocate, you know, because he jokes. So,
I get the joke, but it's ignorant and it's not true. So, and for people that also don't know could take that as truth and then run with it. That's
mhm,
why it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be ignorant. He's on a public stage like that. He's on this huge Netflix special. He had the opportunity to instead enlighten people, and instead he wants to fucking, degrade an entire group of people. I mean, that's not right. That's I'm pretty sure he would hate if somebody did that to him.
I feel you. I see where you're going with. I'll have to watch it again to really, because I mean, I just took everything he said as one joke. There were some things that really like stood with him when it comes to the whole like people are very sensitive, especially when it came to like digging in your history or whatever or something, something,
Right.
something. Um, I saw I see where you're going with the whole trans thing. He's saying they don't like him at all, and then he made that one joke about like being different within your body. But I see it as jokes, and the man is like edgy in that way. But I can
It is.
see why it's a touchy subject. He was mostly talking about how he couldn't say the word how he couldn't say the word. He had his meaning. Okay, it was about the Chappelle show, and they said like, Dave, you can't say the word faggot, and he's like, oh, okay, no problem. But a quick question for you: how come I can say the N word, and he says it? How can I can say the N word, but I can't say the word faggot? And they're like, oh, well, Dave, because you're not gay, and he's like, I'm also not the N word, and I think that
Right.
transcended into the whole freaking, you know how he says that, and that how the LGB or the L, I always get the letters messed up.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, how that community really hates him, and then he goes into a tangent about that right there. And speaking, and I want to say that before my mind gets away from the thing, because speaking of trans in the wrestling world right now, there's this one independent wrestler talking about how there's this one trans wrestler in the new organization AEW, and how she is going for the woman's title. And he's talking about like, okay, well, this is kind of messed up because it's supposed to be the woman's title, and you got Nyla Rose competing for it, and that's kind of blah blah blah. And he's just getting this super super backlash from everybody, but like you got you have no say in this, and you know this she's a wonderful woman, she deserves the right to go for the women's title, and blah blah blah. But this guy is like literally like standing his ground about, like, I think it's bullshit that they have this former man who's now a woman going for the women's title. So there's that big going on right there in
I
the wrestling
I
world.
can see that in a form of genetics.
Mhm.
And they talked about that with the woman like that was in the MMA, and she has a genetic advantage, and I
Mhm.
totally get that. And I don't agree with it either. In the sense that that is kind of an over advantage. Um, I'm not saying that she shouldn't be able to compete and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying like it is an advantage, that men are typically stronger genetically. So,
See, that's a topic that even Dave Chappelle brought up in his stand up, because he talks about how there's all the women in the WNBA should be getting paid as much as the men in the NBA. And he's like, well,
right,
then you want to throw a woman, have her go into the NBA, and like you wouldn't want that, right? Or to have a man go into the WNBA, wouldn't the advantages be different? Basically, his opinion, basically his what he's trying to say, like what you're saying, like
right.
they'll have advantages over each other. And I see that too with I see that I see where he's going with it, but I feel like it's such a hard. I'm talking about the wrestler. I feel like it's such a hard like attack to go at someone like that. I feel though, personally, me in the wrestling world kind of thing, there shouldn't be a division kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't either. I think that they should, like they do with weight classes and stuff, as far as fighting, they should put people that are equally advantaged against each other,
exactly, just all
and that's it.
sexes, all non-sex, just everybody just freaking
Yeah,
wrestling, and there are promotions like that, and I've been to them, especially here in freelance. There was a female who became the champion, and Lucha Underground, they had a female become a champion as well, and it's just there's no woman, there's no men division, there's just wrestling, there's just one division, and everybody
right,
competes against each other. And I'm highly for intergender wrestling, and these guys who wrestle women, they get attacked too, because they're like, oh, you should go easy on the woman. He's like, no, fuck you. These people work hard as I do. They can
yeah.
take a beating, and they don't want me to go any easier on them either. We're equals in the ring. So
If
I
you're
take a bump.
if you're equally advantaged against each other, you have the same amount of fighting ability, the same amount of strength, the same weight class, then it shouldn't matter what gender or sex that you are.
Mhm.
I think the thing that what people are saying, and which I agree with, is the genetic advantage. But if you get away with, get rid of, gender classes and then just put classes like weight classes and strength classes, then it doesn't matter. Then you get
Yeah.
rid of all of that altogether. Then it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
If
I.
it's heavyweight going up against another heavyweight, it doesn't matter, what their genitals are. Somebody's gonna get their ass beat.
Exactly. We're all one. I'm not saying for guys to go out there and start having fights with women. I'm not saying that. I'm
Owen.
just I'm just saying that in these classes, say like boxing was just not, didn't depend on gender. It was just weight and classes and skills and
Yeah,
shit like
and
that.
that's all that should matter.
Hmm. I
I
don't think
mean,
anybody.
again, I get what they're saying, but if you get rid of, gender stereotypes and all that kind of shit and gender classes of divisions, and it doesn't matter. Just
Mhm.
put people up, if you're a welterweight, go against another welterweight.
So reverting back to the Dave Chappelle, I see where you're going with. I never got a sense that he just attacking them. I got the sense that he's joking and he keeps saying that he loves the people and he actually, they always say he has people, he knows people within that that community and stuff like that.
But it's
So,
not his first jab, and it's not the first thing he's ever said. And I mean, there's all his other comedy specials where he's said something very transphobic, and where he says things that can be taken out of context or things that can be used and misused to advocate hate crimes. And that's my point,
mhm.
is that what he's doing and saying can get people hurt or killed. And I don't see that as a jump to conclusion kind of thing. That's the way that the world is now. These people can go, oh, he doesn't like him, I don't like him either, let's kill them all. Because there are crazy fucking people like that. That's why we have such bad mass shootings and things like that, because these people are not okay up here and they get these ideas in their head and they think it's okay to kill a group of people.
It's just crazy how people flip. Like, what's the point? What's the problem? Someone's a different color. I don't like you. Someone is not. Someone is a man but acting like a female. I don't like you. Someone was a man and is now a female. I don't like you. Someone was a female and is now a man. I don't like you. You know what I don't like? It's not who you are, but what you are, or is it the other way? Like, okay, you're transgender. All right, cool, whatever. But if you're an asshole, then you're a fucking dick. You know what
If
I'm
you're an
saying?
asshole, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter if genetics or um, genitals or whatever. If you're an asshole, you're a piece of shit, whatever, then you're a shitty person. The type of person you are is what should matter.
yeah.
And to go back to the mass shooting things, these people are fucking crazy regardless, and they need help mentally, and they're not getting it, and they have these radical ideas and ideologies, and they get a gun, and then somebody's gonna fucking pay the price. And the fact that and, they're so many people have these huge egos and they're entitled and they think that, oh, as Americans, we should get this, this, and that. Well, that doesn't give you the right to go in a room and kill a bunch of people. Nobody has
No,
that right. Nobody.
nobody at all shouldn't go in and kill a bunch of people. And you know what? I know we're talking real serious stuff here, but it just brought me. It just reminded me that after watching The Matrix again, they just went around just killing innocent people. If you think about it,
Did they did,
they
honestly.
completely did.
But in the real world, they just woke up, so it's okay.
Okay. Well, because I was realizing they're just going into the lobby and they're just killing everybody, and I'm like, yeah, all those people weren't agents yet, and they're all dead now.
They were just real people.
Just
But
real
they just
fucking
woke up in
people.
their cocoons and they're all bald and naked and they're like, hey, what's happening? And they get all their tubes pulled out, and so it's okay. They just woke them up. Not really, they all died.
Yeah, they're dead as shit. So,
No,
or
but
maybe we're in the matrix right now. These people are fucking no excuse.
no excuse. Nobody has that right. And my mom was asking me, she wanted my opinion on why she thinks that so many people are doing this, and it's entitlement. People think that they have the right
It's
to do whatever they want and that there's no consequence. They don't care the consequences because most of them don't live anyway.
yeah, it's true. Ain't guy, you got into some serious talk right here about why people are going around fucking just blah 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 to people, and there's just no excuse. It just becomes like it's a messed up that at this day and age it's just like there's another mass shooting. You're like, well, there goes another one. It's kind of like in it's kind of like being in Chicago where you just hear some noise outside and you're like, well, someone got shot. You know, it's just
You're numb
it.
to it now, and you shouldn't
Yeah.
be. That's not okay that we've gotten numb to it, and I'm guilty of it too. I was reading there was two the other day in the same day, and I was just like, okay, what else? What other news is there? Because nobody obviously wants to do anything about it, and that's the sad thing, is that nobody wants to do the right thing to make this stop because we have a right to bear arms. We don't. Nobody has the right to go in a room and kill people. So there
Mm-mm.
needs to be some kind of division there.
Int guy says that he's traveling down to USA this month with his family and is honestly worried a bit about it. I don't think. Look, this is how I believe one should live life. We should live it cautious but never afraid. Okay,
Yes.
I totally believe that we should not live it afraid. We should live it cautious. We should be um, we should be aware of our surroundings, of people, anything, always like on alert, but never afraid and never let anything stop you from living your life. I'm gonna go head out of town again this weekend. And I always think in the back of my mind, real small, it's like, man, I hope nothing ever happens to us. It would be really suck to go out and just enjoy life, and then something fucking tragic. Because you hear stuff happen to people, you know, tragic shit. But you don't have to live on that. You don't have to think about that, and that's something that I always have a deep conversation with my mom about because she doesn't go out so much, or she goes out, but then she gets like all worried, like, oh, I go here and I don't want to go there because this, and that, or she gets worried about me going somewhere. I'm like, look, I'm not gonna live my life scared. I'm not gonna be afraid to just go to the corner store or go to the freaking store to buy something or go to the park or go to the movies. I'm not gonna be afraid to do any of that. I go somewhere and something happens, I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I want to live my life to whatever I want to do and live it well. And my time comes, it comes, and I really hope it doesn't come because there's a lot of freaking fantastic movies and shows I want to see. I want to see Kong versus Godzilla next year. So go to the USA, have fun with your family. Don't worry about anything happening, but also don't be like oblivious to your surroundings or anything like that because people are crazy and you just got to be cautious. If you got this little gut feeling of about an area or about a person, then just go the opposite way.
Preach. And to answer Ink Guy, Godzilla always wins.
You know those two are just gonna like team up against Ghidorah again or something like that because they still have the head.
Yes. Well, they could do like Mecha Ghidorah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought they were gonna do with that because all you need is a part of them, like they did Mecha Godzilla. They just had like his skeleton, and they were able to make Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, good time to be alive, people.
And Bad Boys 3.
And Bad Boys 3. Godzilla all day, but Godzilla versus a Jaeger from Pacific Rim. What we
Jaeger.
got? Fucking Jaegers, man. Oh man, you got to see the second one, right?
No, I haven't because I heard it was so bad.
It's not god awful. It had really cool scenes, but it wasn't on par to like when
The
Guillermo
first
del
one.
Toro did it. Yeah, but it
Yeah.
was like it had some cool ass fucking fights, especially at the towards the end. Oh man, you just wanted so much more out of it. And they were trying to like expand the universe with that too because it led to like a third one, but you know
Mm-mm.
that it's not gonna happen.
It's never
Uh,
gonna happen because that one was so fucked.
but it was cool though. I say still watch it because you saw the first one. Fucking watch the second one and then decide for yourself.
Yes.
I
But the
thought I
first one
bought
was
it.
amazing.
Yeah, the first one was amazing. I guess I never bought it because if I did, it would have been in my library by now. So
Yes, we have a conjoined movie library in case people don't know. So that's why we watch a lot of the same movies.
it's freaking fantastic. It's like I see it as like our own personal fucking like Netflix or Amazon or
Hmm.
Hulu, whatever, our own streaming service of all new releases that I end up getting. And you mostly get like classic release, movies and
I
stuff
get
like
older
that.
stuff. Like I
Yeah.
got Falling Down, which was the movie from '93.
What? When you got that?
Yeah, I got
Recently?
that ye- 2 days ago.
Oh shit. I love
Yes,
Falling Down.
I do too. I was like, should I buy it? I was like, fuck it. This movie's so good.
Falling Down is the shit. I relate with that guy.
I so do.
We all could be Michael Douglas in Falling Down. If you haven't
My,
seen Falling Down,
oh my god.
go watch it.
My favorite was the phone booth and the guy like he was barely on the phone a minute. And
Hmm.
he's getting off the phone. He's off the phone. He's walking away. And this guy comes at me. He's like, "What the fuck, you asshole? Don't you see the there's other people wanting to use the phone?" He just pulls out the machine gun and blows it the fuck away. He's like, "Well, now it's out of order." I'm like, "That's some shit I would do." That's why I'm not allowed guns. I'm on too many drugs. I would shoot the phone booth.
And look, in guy is saying King Kong versus Godzilla is gonna be like Superman versus Batman. King Kong's going to be like Mothra. Why did you say Mothra?
I know Mothra.
Oh, falling down. So yeah, we have which has been fantastic. The little letting me into that because I go over
Oh, the
her
tech.
house and I can just watch my movies there. It's like
Yes.
fuck.
At
I'm
first, I
not
was like, "You should join my movie thing, my family movie thing on Google." He's like, "Why? It's just gonna be a bunch of movies I bought." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's a shitload of movies in there. I buy
but
movies all the time."
it's even helpful though because it's like okay, I just bought this like Godzilla was helpful because it's like okay, I just bought this movie, but I'm over here. Oh, it's cool. I just fucking log into my YouTube here and bam, I can watch it right here, right now. I don't have to be home.
Exactly. And if you had like a Chromecast or something like that, you could take it to work or to your girl's house or
Yes,
wherever.
that's what I'm gonna get next because I said that at work. I was like, all right, guys, I need a Chromecast because I could hook us up and we could watch any fucking movie now. I don't have to bring all my shit over here. It's just there.
Forever. It's the best. And like when I go do dog sitting and stuff, I take my Chromecast. You just plug it in, play some shit off your phone. I've got all my movies there. I got Hulu, Netflix. I mean, fucking we can watch whatever.
Hmm. What came out this week? I was trying to think. I was trying to look it up and I don't know what came out this week.
I thought that John Wick came out this week, but it's next week
Oh my god! I'm gonna get that.
on the 10th. Where's my other hand?
Ooh.
There it is.
There it is. There's the other hand.
It got stuck in the mic cord.
Oh my god! So Danny said hi and then he didn't say anything
Then he
because
didn't say shit else the rest of the
yeah,
night. That
that's
man was asleep.
he probably knocked out. Shout out to Danny Adi. It's fantastic.
He's good. He's always joins my streams when I stream on Twitch, which is nice. Then I have someone to talk to.
Yes, always needs that. By the way, her Twitch, it's right there. Hammer of Venus, everybody. For those listening in and not watching, Hammer of Venus, all together
All
on
together.
Twitch. Follow her on Twitch. Watch her play games because she be playing some good classics and she be kicking ass.
Thank
I be
you.
seeing you. You be kicking ass.
I do. I put it in God mode and I fuck shit up.
There you go. That's how you should do it. Everybody just play God mode. Why are we struggling in video games? We struggle in
I don't
life.
get it. People are always like, "Oh, I gotta play this on super hard." I'm like, I put all my games on easy. Play through them, and then I go to the next game. I don't got time for all this hard business.
Exactly.
Life is already fucked up enough.
Exactly. I don't want to stress out. I don't want to rage quit.
Thank you,
I want
ink
to
guy.
maybe yeah, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Maybe a little challenge, but not to the point
Yes.
where I'm like, ah,
No. Like I like the stuff that we're doing in World War Z. That's a fun kind of challenge because it's like if you do this, you get this cool sword, and it's like okay, I'll play along. But if it's just something I'm just trying to get through the storyline, like Rage 2, I'm like easy peasy God mode. There we go.
God mode. God mode.
I went through all of Duke Nukem 3D in God mode, and I skipped 2 levels just because I can, because fuck those levels.
Fuck. I like because he was watching you and I was doing the stream, and then I wanted to raid
Yep.
yours when we were done. He was like, oh, she already finished Duke Nukem. I was like, damn, what the fuck? She's a beast.
Yep, done. 5 different like stories. I did all 5.
Damn.
And then I had started Duke Nukem Forever and I need to finish it because that game's really fun.
I
But
remember.
I've been buying a bunch of games. Like I was telling you that I always get games when they go on sale on Steam.
Hmm.
So I get email alerts that'll be like, this game is on sale. I'm like, okay, I'll buy it, and I never play it. So I have like close to 50 games on Steam, and I probably play 2 of them. So I have a lot of games to play there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm in the works or um, in the know of a PS4 for sale. So I might be getting on PS4.
Oh shit! That means you might get Rachel joint with me and LP and possibly
Yes,
even freaking Rocio. Yeah, maybe even Rocio. She doesn't
that
much.
would be cool.
She played Red Dead with us. That's for sure.
Because you were supposed to get that on Xbox, but you never did.
I didn't because LP. I feel bad for him. He's like, I want to play something. So I go like, all right, whatever, man. Let's get this stuff like that. Like Anthem was supposed to be like a PS4 thing, but it was like you were like, yo, Anthem on the Xbox. I'm like, fuck it, Xbox. And then
Yes.
I think Scooby already had it on the Xbox. So I'm like, fuck it, Xbox. Then I just think about like, oh, don't worry, LP. There's like other fucking games coming out that we could play, man. Don't worry. You ain't missing out.
But there's more on Xbox.
There it is. And I love the Game Pass. It's fantastic.
Ink Guy says, I'm there to enjoy the story. Fuck it being so hard that I rage quit and want to stab someone. Exactly.
Exactly.
I can't afford the jury fees and court fees for stabbing somebody right now, so I put it on easy.
I don't get it. And then I don't get people who's like, there was this one dude at work. He's not there anymore. But he was going like, "Hey man, what's up, man? You play this game, whatever?" It's like, no, 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 I haven't played. I'm playing this right now. It's like, oh man, but do you play like in hardcore or whatever, stuff like that? I'm like, no, I don't just play it normal. It's like, oh man, you're a little pussy, man. I gotta play like this, and I know that. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? I just
Oh,
like playing the damn game.
you're so cool.
I know, right? It's like, nah, man, I'm playing the Evil Within on Nightmare and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, cool for you, man. Go collect some more Dragon Ball Z shit. Like you only talk to me about. Like I don't care.
Don't have time for it.
No, I don't.
If it's fun, if it's a really fun game like Duke Nukem or something or World War Z and it warrants a second play or a third play, then yeah, then you'll go up a level. You
Hmm.
earn that level up. You don't just do it. Then you go to normal. Then you go to hard. Then you go to super hard. These people that just get a game and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna start this game on like mecha hard. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. And you're gonna rage quit and break your keyboard. You're an idiot.
You know, no. Some people would play because most games now to get the really hardest level, you gotta beat the game to
Yes,
get to that level. So then they'll play
you
the
have to
game,
unlock it.
yeah, beat it, and then play it again in the hardest level. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm done. It's a chapter of my life over with. I'm moving on.
If I can unlock God mode, that's all I care about.
Oh my god, just go through it like crazy. We were god mode when we played Left 4 Dead 2 and had the M60s or whatever.
That was so fucking great. Oh my God, I just laugh and cry at the same time because I'm so happy.
Da, 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 da.
I wasn't
All
on
that.
meds like I am now. I mean, I may not be so verbal about it now, but
Mhm.
this Lexapro makes me kind of numb to everything, so I'm a little bit more at ease. Ink Guy says, bought Dark Souls 3, played it for 40 minutes, and brought it back. Yeah,
You
those
know?
games are fucking hard. I mean, hard. And it's cool that they have that level of expertise in them, especially like real sword fighting skills and all that. But I'm like, dude, pew pew pew, you're dead. Let me go to the next guy.
Like
I don't have time.
it reminds me of the other one that's, people always say it's like Dark Souls, the Sekiro, and how everybody was talking about how difficult it is and tough, and people proud when they defeat someone, and I'm like, that's great and all, and it looks fantastic, but I do not want to deal with that at all. I do not want to go into something and just rage quitting, just be just freaking suffering. I don't want to suffer when I play video games, and I go for video games with story, like fantastic story, just go straight through. When people tell me about like Destiny, they're like, "Yeah, man, I do the Crucible and this and that, and I'm getting I'm getting this armor and blah blah and grinding." I'm like, "Yeah, that's great that you're grinding. I don't care. I just want to play the story, get over here, see how this is, get a couple things along the way, and then move on with my life. I don't got the time to like go so heavy and so deep into something." But I think maybe the last time or the last game that I got so deep and heavy into and trying to achieve a lot of stuff was Left 4 Dead 2 with Rachel and Scooby and them, because we were just like achievement hunting. It's like, let's do the achievement. Let's go through this let's go through this level with the gnome so we could get the stupid achievement for the gnome, or let's go through this with just pistols, or let's go through this with just melees, and we just do it because that's a game that you could do that. You're just playing the same campaigns over and over again. Do it, and then you do it one more time, but each time it's different. That's why they have all these different modes and shit, just to make it a little bit more challenging. I don't know if you were telling me to wrap it up.
I was saying keep going. Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up, B.
No, it's coughing my ass off for no reason.
But you're good now.
I'm good now. Um, I know Ink Guy was saying that he thought he was talking too much, and it's like, no, we enjoy it. We want the back and forth. But that's the whole point that we have the machine room on Twitch instead of YouTube or something like that. We want um the back and forth. We want the conversation.
Yes, this podcast is all about not just us conversating, but you conversating with us. That's what makes it
Exactly.
special. It's not just us here. You guys are with us.
And then, no, we didn't just start. I mean, we started this about a month ago. This is our sixth episode.
6.
So
We
six.
made it to 6, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop whoop.
Yes. It's not like we're gonna get canceled.
Only thing that could
We're not on a
cancel us,
network.
the only thing that could cancel us is life itself.
Yes. Because I don't see us like rage quitting each other. You know, fuck you.
Yeah, no. No, you could get ready, man, because they're gonna be a Machine Room podcast exclusive fucking stand up specials. I'm working on
Yes.
my set now. It's gonna suck. I'm just gonna need like two people I know, one from work and Brenda,
Hmm.
and I just need them in the crowd, and they'll make sure that everything sells because they laugh at everything.
I find this to be very therapeutic. Um,
Yes.
this and my Twitch stream. Because I don't talk a lot in real life unless I know you. But with most people, I just kind of answer stuff like, yeah, okay, cool. Hey, dinner's ready, kind of thing. Um, but with this, I feel like I really get to open up and be myself and tell stories and share my opinions and things with most people that I never get to do. So it's been really great to be involved with Twitch and the community. Like, I'm really enjoying it.
Yes, me too. Me definitely too. Like I haven't felt this passionate about an online community since back in the heyday of YouTube kind of stuff, you know?
Hmm.
Because I mean, YouTube it wasn't like it was back then. It's either I'm there with specific people or I'm not. I get no freaking like really any feedback or support. But then I started doing the Twitch again with the help of other fellow goons who were twitching and just going at like if you're consistent and just keep doing it, then you are guaranteed reaction. You're guaranteed a freaking a community, even if it's very small. You're guaranteed something, and it just becomes like Rachel said, very therapeutic. I had really two long freaking days, and I still came home and I was like, all right, I'm still gonna give at least 2 hours before I gotta force myself to sleep and play some gaming, you know. And it's also a sense of you want to because you know there's these people who actually enjoy watching you, want you to go on, you know.
Exactly. And they're
And
rooting for you and they're pushing you for doing something that you love.
yeah, and the same thing with like with Hammer of Venus. When she's on, I want to watch her as well, you know. And I never was into this stuff at all. I never got like watching people game for hours. What the hell? That's lame. That's why I got the game editions. It's just edited little videos, bloom, put right there. Which, by the way, go to youtube.com/game editions. Is
Oh, there it is.
yes, fantastic. You'll catch most of my Twitch highlights now over there. But I didn't think I would be into it, and now I am. I'll watch Hammer of Venus. I'll watch Rex Mechanics. I watch
Me too.
Braver Soul. You know, it's just the thing that I'm kind of sad about is that I can't spend that much time watching because most of the time people are doing it while I'm working. But you know, if I can, I'll do it a little bit. I even watch Bob Ross.
I love watching Bob Ross. I watch him every fucking weekend. I especially like watching him when I'm working because I'll have like some shitty mean customer yelling in my ear, and then I look over and I just say, "Let's give this tree a little friend, and let's do this little happy cloud." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so happy now."
It's dope shit. Like, I think you're the one who told me about Bob Ross, and then I
I
looked it up,
did.
and he was there, and I just realized this guy is the original ASMR. Like he's so
He
it
so
just
is.
just leave him in the background, let him do his thing, and you can do your thing. You're like in peace. Let me clean the room. Bob Ross in the background.
I
Perfect.
remember we used to watch him back in the day. I don't know if he had passed away already, but it was, mid 90s like that. And he used to come on PBS Mondays at 1 p.m.
Hmm.
So during like summer vacation, you'd sleep all day. I would make it an effort to wake up by 1 p.m. to watch Bob Ross. I was like, we have to watch him. So it's great to see, like he's back, even though he's gone, but he's back in a
He's
weird way.
back. He will never die. Hey, Ink Guy, thank you for coming through. Thank
Thank
you
you.
thank you for supporting us tonight, and we definitely will support back. Um,
Anytime.
yes. So thank you, and have a great night. If you're going to bed, I assume. Sweet dreams. Oh, damn. Speaking of sweet dreams, which this wasn't a sweet dream, but I had a dream. It was weird. Let's see if I can remember it because I usually don't. It's just bits and pieces. It involved a kid.
Okay.
It involved him looking for somewhere. He was looking for like a home. Let's just say he's looking for a home, a place, a place to be welcome and to have his own, with people that would accept him and love him and stuff like that. and he's searching everywhere. I guess he was, and the last resort was an orphanage, and he couldn't find what he was looking for. So I think he just went ahead and painted like this house on his face, blue, your typical kind of house kind of thing, the fucking steeple, whatever, the roof, blah blah. And then I think he went to like a rooftop and just jumped off. And I think I woke up after that. But I know there was more to it. But I was just like, what the fuck was that?
Wait,
An
that's
experimental
sad.
I know, it was like experimental, existential, kind of artsy kind of dream. Yeah, I don't know what the
That
hell was
sounds
going
like
on.
one of those little short little student films. That's what that sounds like.
Yes, exactly. I just had prime gold in my head that I should have just went out and fucking like, hey kid, come over here. All right, now run over there.
Film this.
Run there. Run there. Now paint this on your face.
That would be really cool, actually. You should do that.
Yeah, it was weird. Came out of nowhere. I don't even know. I was like trying to like dig deep. Like, what is my mind trying to tell me? Am I that kid? Am I looking for a home?
That's
I,
deep.
I
It's very
was.
deep.
We're deep in the machine
What
room.
does it all mean?
But what does it all mean, Basil? Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do something else.
So, where's your computer at right now?
My computer is looking at us.
Computer.
The computer is fine. It's good. It's finally up and going. The fucking Skype works, and yeah, that was that was sucky. That was
Is your arm
sucky.
tired? Do you want to like go to switch to your computer?
No, no, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
still good. It's all good. You know what? Now that I think about it, my arm doesn't feel tired. Maybe because I have this like arm resting right here, and they're
Yeah,
just chilling, just chilling. If I held it up, then yeah, I think I'll be tired as shit.
there you go.
But I'm just chilling. It's Wednesday. We're in the Machine Room podcast. I hope you guys join us every Wednesday night now and keep the party going
Forever.
forever. And remember, you guys are always part of the conversation. So always ask us anything, throw in anything. You're here. We're here for you. If you want to know, if you just want to know what Rachel had for breakfast this morning, go ahead and ask it.
That's me.
Ask her anything. Don't ask me because I'm gonna be like, "Fuck you! I had no breakfast. I had to go to a damn class at work." Imagine
What
being
did I
there.
have for breakfast actually? I had coffee.
There you go. Breakfast of champions.
Yep, coffee. Um, Cafe Verona Starbucks coffee to be exact. It's delicious. It's my favorite.
Shit. Ooh, shit. I had
Oh, I did
recently.
have Egyptian food. I had Egyptian chicken tonight and it was amazing.
That's right. You mentioned that, didn't you?
Yes.
Yesterday? I think you mentioned it
Uh-huh.
yesterday. I was like
Yep.
Egyptian chicken.
Oh,
Is
as I
this?
waited all yeah, I was preparing it before we streamed last night and then I let it marinate all day and then bake it and then put bell peppers and shit on it.
Is
It's
this
really good.
like chicken from Egypt or what's going on here?
It's the marinade. It's the kind of spices and stuff you put in the marinade and I mean you could use the marinade on anything, but it just happened to be used on chicken. And it's really good.
Oh,
I should have took a picture, but we fucked it up. We were like starving by the time it
ooh,
was ready.
shit. Yeah, this day
Everybody
and
was like
age, just
almost eating it with their hands like barbarians. Like
oh shit, rah, 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 this is
it was
good.
brutal.
It's funny because my mind just went somewhere. It's the connection. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it was like Egyptian, and then I was like Egyptian, the Mummy, and then I thought about how today they were watching Titanic in the break room, and everybody was all into it. And for some reason, these motherfuckers, some people thought that Billy Zane was the one who played Emotep in the Mummy. I'm like, no, that's not him.
That's not him. He
It's not
was the
him at
guy
all.
that was one of the bullies in Back to the Future.
I guess he was.
He was the tall one. Then there was 3D.
3D was my boy.
Yeah. And then when the one where he was like, it's all evil, you know, um, after they go back in time, it's all fucked up. He was the
Part
one in
two.
the cowboy hat.
Yep. But he was nowhere in three.
Nope.
And that's my favorite Biff is the cowboy one, Mad Dog Biff.
Mad Dog.
That's my favorite one, man. When he shot Homeboy and then he looked at everybody, he's like, oh, thank you.
What was the guy's name that played the mummy?
Oh, I don't know what his name is, man. He's always emo tip to me. I remember he was in the G.I. Joe movie. That's all. That's all I remember.
He was?
Yeah, he was in the first G.I. Joe movie. He played Destro, I think, or
Who
something.
played the mummy in the mummy?
The mummy did.
The cast of The Mummy includes Brendan Fraser, Rachel
Uh-huh.
Weisz, and four
Uh-huh.
others.
And four
That's it.
others. That's all you need to know.
A bunch of
His name
nobodies.
is Arnold Vosloo.
There you go. Where has he been?
He got old.
There you go. Look
Yeah,
at Kaiju.
Kaiju put it.
Kaiju knows everything, man. You
So
just ask him.
smart.
Smart motherfucker. Or he probably Googled it too.
Either way. Either way, the answer's there. Google answered it too. We have the answer in the machine room.
Either way, it wasn't freaking Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Billy Zane was the Phantom.
Yes, everybody always says that. He's gonna always be known as the Phantom.
He was great. He wore purple tights. It was amazing.
Billy fucking Zane. He was
Where's
also the
Oded
demon.
Fur? Who's Oded Fur?
Oh, I don't know. You
Is
mean
that
the
the guy
guy?
from Blade?
He was Zartan in GI Joe, and who was
That's
Destro?
right. That's
No,
right. You're so right.
no, Destro was no. Cobra was Joseph Gordon. Look, I don't care what people say. I like the GI Joe movie,
The first one or the second one?
the first one. I don't think it was. Destro was
Oh,
the Ninth Doctor. Yeah.
he's talking about the guy from Deuce Bigelow, the guy with the long hair that was in the Mummy.
Ah, he fishy,
Oded
fishy,
Fur.
fishy,
That guy's
fishy,
great.
fishy, fishy.
That guy should do porn.
He probably did.
You probably.
He probably did after all.
I don't like dudes, but I would totally watch this dude smash.
But he gotta go like he fishy, fishy,
Fishy,
fishy.
fishy, fishy. And he was in Resident Evil. That's right.
He was. His hair was cut.
Yes,
I remember now.
that guy's great.
They killed him.
He sure did. I love that. He was great in Apocalypse.
I don't think I seen that.
The one when they're in the desert, they have to go to Las Vegas. That's all fucking sand dunes.
Oh, Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Yes,
Okay, okay,
the
yes, I did see
book.
that. I saw all those. Didn't matter.
Carlos Oliveira. Which one was Carlos?
Oh shit!
You guys are name dropping, and I don't know who these people are. Not
Oded.
without looking.
Kaiju saying Oded's in a TV show for CBS.
Oh, nice. I have to watch that. That guy's great. Blood and Treasure. It's like Uncharted with a couple. Oh, cool.
Oh, okay, okay.
Nice.
It's shows that exist that I don't know that exist that probably have a whole bunch of seasons. You're like, who the hell's watching this? That is still going on.
Like Suits. I found out today Suits is in like season 9. I was like, I thought they canceled that shit years ago.
Holy shit! Really? That was. I'm surprised too. Just like Burn Notice, that show kept going on
This just kept
forever.
fucking going. I was like,
Like,
who
who
the
was
fuck
watching
watches this? Yeah. It's crazy. I've never seen one episode of Suits. I've never seen, what's that other one everyone wouldn't shut up about? Game of Thrones? Yeah, I never saw it either.
At least that one stopped.
At least, yeah, that one ended. I heard the ending was shitty though.
Eh,
Right.
yeah,
Right, people were mad about it. Mr. Robot is amazing. I love that fucking show. I can't wait for it to come back.
yes. I've only seen the first season.
Oh, it's so good.
I have
It's
to
like
keep
Fight
watching
Club
it.
with hackers.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic.
Oh, it's
And I need to watch the rest. I just
big
forgot and
ups.
keep going on. Christian Slater,
Christian
that's the one
Slater.
reason. That's the one reason why I was all into that. I was like, what? Christian Slater? I watch anything with Christian Slater. There was
Oh,
this one show that he did on Fox and it didn't last, sadly. But fuck, what the hell was it called? He was a boss of a company in it and he was hilarious. It was a comedy show,
oh wow.
but it didn't last long at all.
Never heard of it.
Crap. I forgot what.
He does a voice sometimes on Archer as himself, and it's so funny.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
it's
my
like
boy, man.
him as himself if he was in the CIA. It's really
Chris,
funny.
Christian Slater. There should be more love, Christian Slater. Damn it.
And Christian Slater, everything.
That was my whole purpose of that song. Big ups to Christian Slater. Supposed to be more love for him. Let's see, because I think I downloaded the
Wasn't
show
that
when
why
it was
you
on.
started your podcast back in the day?
Was
So you
it?
could turn up the volume?
Yes. Yes, I did. You're right. You reminded me. I did. That
I remember
movie.
stuff. I'm listening.
That movie. And if you guys never seen it, Pump Up the Volume is
Great fucking movie.
fantastic. Christian Slater and what's homegirl's name? Samantha Mathis.
Yes.
Great movie. Then they both teamed up again in Broken Arrow, which I love that movie too. But yeah, Pump Up the Volume is a movie that I should have on fucking Blu-ray
We
if it's
should.
Blu-ray.
We need to add that to our video library.
Hell yeah, I'll be like, you know what? Fuck it, pump up the volume right now. I'm just gonna watch this in the background, and then it's gonna make me want to freaking podcast all over again.
Right now.
Yes, right now. But that guy did it like he did it by himself. So he just like he has had this passion, like yeah, I'm just gonna go on the mic and I'm just gonna fucking speak my mind and blah blah. And that's why I did stuff like overtime with Nas. Ever watch Airborne? Kaiju ass, have you ever watched Airborne?
It sounds familiar, but I can't think. I can't put my finger on what it is.
I can't
I'm gonna
either.
say no. 9.
9. I'm trying to see if I have this damn show here.
Rollerblading movie with Seth Green. No, don't think so. I've seen him in real life though. That guy's tiny.
I didn't know. I just found out like either today or yesterday. Seth Green was in the It, was an original It as
Yeah,
one
it
of the
was a
kids.
child star actor. Yeah, when he was
I
young,
had no idea.
he was a dick in that movie.
No idea.
He was the one that was afraid of werewolves.
Little bitch. Nice.
He was supposed to be the funny one.
I'm still here trying to find this show to try to remember what show it was. Which I probably could just look up freaking Christian Slater and it'll tell me
Big
what
ups.
show it is. Jesus, I got a lot of movies in the computer.
Now you have more.
He was in that movie Very Bad Things though. I don't know if you remember that one.
Don't remember it. And the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was a movie called Very Bad Things, and it's basically one of those typical, hey, we're at this bachelor party. Oh shit, there's a stripper dead. Now we gotta
Oh.
do something about it.
I was telling this girl I've been talking to about communion because we were talking about scary alien abduction movies and she was talking about the fourth kind. I was like, if you like the fourth kind, you're gonna love communion.
Shit.
Like I'm an adult and I can't watch that movie.
Fuck of that.
After all these years, I first saw that movie in the early 90s, if not late 80s, and I still sleep with the door closed.
You gotta. All right, so speaking, since we're on that, okay, I found what the show was, and I'm gonna show like
Okay.
a clip of it. or just like show him in it. But I know every time you mention Communion, I always mention Fire in the Sky and how
Yep,
much that freaking movie scared the shit out of me. And as a kid, my mom was crazy about aliens, still is, loves aliens crazy. She always wanted to get abducted. So I had to grow up with a mom who loved watching alien movies and then watch these movies that are like based on a true story. And then I watch a movie called Fire in the Sky about a guy who gets abducted. And then when it gets to that scene, abducted, it is the scariest shit to a little kid. You're like,
it is.
I don't want that shit to happen to me. When I
You know the
watched it,
difference between that movie and Communion? I can
is
watch Fire in the Sky now. I can watch and be like, okay, the aliens kind of look like weird old people.
yeah,
It's not as scary now as it was when I was like 10 and it scared the
hmm,
living fuck out of me. Like, literally, like, scared the shit out of me.
yeah,
Communion, I still can't watch to this day.
yeah. I think I'm with you on that department too because just thinking about communion, I do not. The images in my head, I don't even want them in my
When
head. Fire
that
in the
thing
Sky, I
flew in the
watched.
fucking room, my heart skips every fucking time. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I
Fire in
can't
the
do that.
Sky, I watched again as an adult, and I was like, this is pretty freaking cool movie. I can take this right now. A
Yeah.
Communion, I remember some scenes, and I'm like, I can't. My mom even had the book, and it just had half of
I
the
have the
fucking
book
alien
too.
face.
I have the book and I can't read it because the cover. I can't get past the cover.
Yeah, like fuck that, fuck that.
Um, they had it like the library here. They have a free section, so it's like people read a book and they'll give it away, and so it's right, and you go in the door and it's right there. And I just walked in the door and I saw that face and I was like, motherfucker. And so I took it. I just instinctively took it for some reason. So I have it and I've never read it. And then
Mm.
I have one of the sequels too, and it has a face like that on it too. I've never read it. And I have the movie, and I can't get past the opening credits because the fucking music's so scary.
So I think what you're doing is just taking it and you're taking it and putting it out of fucking like burying it.
Commission.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're burying it somewhere. It's like
So
I'm taking
nobody
all
else has to
these.
deal with it.
Exactly. You're trying to save the world from it. I
Um,
feel you on that.
and I'm writing a book too. It's my first book that I want to write of many, and it's about alien abduction. And it's taken me years because I'm so afraid of the subject material that I will be writing about it and I have to stop like for months. I'm like, I can't put my mind in that place. And then when I do, I can only do it for so long because
Hmm.
it is such a legitimate fear for me. Even though, to most people it's an irrational fear, it's still a fear. It's still something that, especially when I lived out in the country, I had to have all the windows closed and not the door fucking bolted. And I was like, they're still gonna get in. They don't care. And it's really hard. And I'm most of the way through the book. I think once I finish it, the other books that I have in mind are going to go a lot faster because I'm not scared of what I'm writing about. But it's a challenge to me, and the fact that I'm writing about it is like trying to overcome my fear. And then I think hopefully that when I finish it, I'll be able to watch Communion again or read the book. I don't know. We'll see.
You're gonna finish it. It's gonna be a New York Times bestseller. They're gonna get the movie rights. They're gonna make the movie, and then you're gonna be like, I can't even see this movie.
I can't see my own movie.
But thank you for making it.
That the whole movie has to be shot at night, and I'm the executive producer, and it's gonna be scary as fuck.
Hmm.
And I'm still gonna do the machine room.
Live from the fucking red carpet. All right, so
Exactly.
the show was called what Christian said. It was called Breaking In.
Oh, I heard of that.
Yeah, and it had one of the guys from the Whitest Kids. You know, I think that's who he is right there. This other guy saw somewhere, and there's Slater right there.
Oh yeah.
Show your face,
I
Slater.
remember I remember when that show came out. I was
Look at
like, good
him.
for him.
Look at him, sexy beast.
All that
Fuck,
hair.
Mr. Cool. The
Always love all
guy's
that hair.
yeah, he does. The guy's the epitome of cool. Like, you know what? You know, what would be the shit if like John Wick 4 and they get Christian Slater to show up somewhere.
Yes. You
How
know what?
cool would it be?
He was so cool that in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, he was like, I'm gonna use my actual accent. Fuck being British. I'm so cool. I can just be me. And then Kevin Costner was like, you know what? Me too. Fuck British accents. Who
You're
needs
right.
them?
I never thought about that. I never thought about that. And they had Brian Adams doing the song. It's all good.
He's Canadian though,
Yeah. See?
so he could have been all Canadian E on. I can't
Oh
watch the
shit.
end credits when that song comes on. I'm always like, press stop, press stop. I don't want to hear Brian Adams.
Christian Slater is so damn cool.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Pump Up the Volume, totally watch it. It's a great fucking movie.
It is.
Christian
And
Slater. Another one is True Romance. It's one of my
hmm
favorite Christian Slater movies of all time.
and Heathers.
Heathers, yes. Oh my God.
If there's anything if there's anything that defines Christian Slater,
It's
it's
fucking
Heathers.
Heathers. When he, for no reason, dyed his hair black.
He's just all crazy as hell. Oh snap. But I should say that this has been a fantastic Wednesday night. Fantastic Machine Room podcast. I think we should call it. I think we should call it. It's been great. Kaiju, thank you for coming through. Dania D, thank you for coming through.
Yes.
Ink Guy, thank you for popping in. May you be sleeping very well. But it is not the end because I do want to throw in couple, um, I don't want to say a couple minutes, but I want to throw some time gaming. That's right, ladies and
Tonight.
gentlemen. Yes, we're done with the podcast, but we're gonna come right back.
Right
And
back. I'm gonna go pee and come right back.
yes, I had to pee too for the longest. So this is the end of the Machine Room Podcast. I'm Nostradamus. This is Hammer of Venus. And we are so happy that you came here tonight. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or iTunes or anywhere else, thank you for listening to us. 6 episodes in, and we are still just starting.
Going hard.
Yes, that's right. But you should really be joining us on our Twitch, twitch.tv/ Machine Room Podcast, because you could be part of the conversation, and right now you could also enjoy us playing some video games.
Yes. And
So,
don't forget to watch Pump Up the Volume and
mhm,
Communion.
exactly.
Watch them the other way around.
Yes.
Watch Communion and then watch Pump Up the Volume to bring you down from shitting your pants.
And if you're Rex McInnes, watch John Wick trilogy.
Yes, everybody watch John Wick if you've never seen it, because as I always say, if my mom liked it, then it's a good movie. And my
Exactly.
mom likes John Wick.
Danny D wants 94 more episodes, so we're gonna give you 94 more episodes. We're gonna hit
Yeah,
100. Damn it.
you're gonna get 994 more episodes
That's right.
until we run out of triple digits and go to four digits. That's what's up. We'll be
Yes.
right back, you guys. But thank you again for joining us. If you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. We love you guys. Please send us any questions that you have at ask@machineroompodcast.com. Check out our website, machineroompodcast.com. Lots of fun stuff there. I'm adding all the shows there, all the links to all of our downloadable podcasts. So we're constantly branching, learning, getting bigger, better. So we love you guys and we couldn't do it without you.
Yep. Couldn't say it, but couldn't have said it better myself.
Awesome. Have a good night, guys.
Peace out.